'Twas the night before St. Nicholas, when all through the town not a human was stirring, all waiting for the sound. The drapes were shut tight, fireplaces blaring with fear, in anticipation that Krampus would soon be there. The children were hidden under their beds, while Krampus tormented them within their heads. Mama weeping tears for her babies, and I preparing for a fight, had just bunkered down for a long Krampus night. When up on the roof the chains could be heard, I gathered my rifle to see what had stirred. Away to the chimney I flew like a flash, tore open more coal, and prayed quickly it didn't turn to ash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow displayed the shadow of the Christmas demon from below. When what to my wondering eyes should appear but a medieval sleigh and 8 elves to help the children disappear. With a sack in one claw and a birch branch in another, I knew in a moment it was Krampus, ready to claim another. More rapid than steeds, his coursers they came. He dragged his chains and summoned his henchmen by name.
Now Ruby, now Gatafer, now care to sleep, and care to curb. On Glottiger, on Harrisker, on Sketchjar, and Gilliger. To the top of the chimney, to the bottom you fall. Now slay away, and kill them all.
As the fire burned out and my visitors appeared, I prayed while I witnessed what I most feared. They attacked me before I knew what to do, and Krampus growled as he walked through. He was dressed in all fur from head to foot. His horns were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A sack of corpses he had flung on his back. He stood tall and smiled as his elves attacked. So sinister and insidious, his eyes how they glowed. His hoofs could be heard on the stairs as he made for his bestowed. Their screams haunted me as I lay trapped. His elves tormented me, and they stopped to clap. As Krampus appeared with 2 new children in his sack, he spoke not a word and knocked me out with just one whack. He filled all the stockings, all with bones and decay, laying my wife by the tree, her corpse on display. He snickered as he climbed the chimney, happy with defeating me so grimly. As he settled into his sleigh and called out to his minions, away they all flew to terrorize the rest of the civilians. But I heard him bellow as he rode out of sight.
Happy Krampus night to all, and to all of the frightful night.
Hey Toasties, I'm Missy, here with my bestie Johnsy.
Hey y'all.
And welcome to our Toasted Shenanigans Christmas special.
Yay!
Are we excited?
I'm very excited. I've been waiting for this, for 8 months since we started this?
I want to say since we started, this was one episode that we definitely talked about doing. And that poem in the beginning, fucking amazing.
I tried, man. I tried.
You nailed that. That's freaking awesome.
I'm proud of it.
You should be. That was great. I loved it.
Thank
it was
you.
fun. And we had a Christmas miracle, guys.
Yes, we did.
So, as you guys know, a lot of the times now lately, my thing that I'm drinking on here is mead, specifically from Funktastic Mead. Now, Toasties, if you have not gone over there, you slacking. Slackers. Because we had our own Christmas miracle, and we now have a Toasted Shenanigans mead shake. And it's a beautiful, it's kind of pink, but it's a reddish pink. It's delicious as fuck, guys.
It's a 10 out of 10.
It's a 100 out of 10. Knock it out of the
there
park.
You go.
It's a red velvet ice cream, whipped cream, and vanilla. It is so good. And if you don't like red velvet, guys, come on, get with the program. It's just
Who doesn't like red velvet?
There's a lot of people I know who don't, but I don't think they realize it's chocolate cake with cream cheese frosting. Come on.
You have to love it.
So good, guys. Get yourselves over there. Get yourself a glass of Toasted Shenanigans and take a picture of yourself and tag us in it. Put it on the social medias. Let us know you got it. Let us know what you think of it. Let Matt, the owner of Funktastic, know he's amazing because he really is. The dude's a mead genius. Mead genius. And I say that sincerely. So, Matt, if you finally are listening, sir, you're genius.
Calling you out.
I am calling him out because that man is so busy. I don't think he has time to even he can have it play in the background. He not hear what was going on. But he does have also a membership program for Funktastic where you get special bottles only for members. You get discounts on your purchases and early access to certain other things. And we'll have all the information, guys, on our social medias. So make sure you get out there, Toasted Shenanigans, on Instagram and Facebook. And if you aren't following us on those, well, what are you doing with your life?
Slacking.
Yeah. But that is our Christmas miracle, guys. We got a mead. How fucking awesome.
Woohoo! It's fucking amazing.
So my son could not say Christmas for the longest time. And I have to share this because saying Christmas to me is weird. So he could not say Christmas. So he would call it Schristmas. And now I cannot say Christmas correctly. I always say Schristmas. So, but I didn't want to go into that conversation just right away saying Christmas because everybody's like, "Oh, is Missy stroking out over there?" It's a Christmas miracle. He also calls, and I will never call eggnog ever again. He calls it Christmas milk.
I love that.
Tell me that's not the best way to describe what eggnog is because it's the only time the shit comes out. And there's Santa Claus is like on the bottle. And it's like a milk consistency. Christmas milk.
Christmas milk. Love it.
But can I have some Christmas milk? Hell yeah, you can have some Christmas milk. I want some Christmas milk. Merry Christmas, everybody. It's a Christmas miracle. It's fun to say it. I can't say
Christmas. I love it.
I can't even say Christmas correctly now. It sounds weird, like it's wrong.
Not how many of y'all are saying it now as you're listening.
If you aren't
Christmas,
if you aren't, you got to do it. Say it.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's so fun. Christmas. It's the greatest. What are you drinking over there? Because we all know I'm having Funktastic's Toasted Shenanigans, which
I couldn't make it over there today, so
you couldn't. But I have a can with your name on it. Don't you worry.
I'm anxious to get to it, but I searched quite a while to find a Krampus themed beer, and I could not.
Oh,
because as we know, this episode is about Krampus. But I did find another Christmas can that I love. Okay. I'm all about them cans.
You are.
I'm going to show it to you. Where's the camera? There it is. It's called Fugly Sweater.
That is cute as shit. And it's decorated as a fugly sweater, guys.
But it's a dark lager. Sorry, I don't know why I said lager. Dark lager brewed with ginger, cloves, nutmeg, and cinnamon. And it's actually really smooth. The spices are very mellow. I really enjoy it. I'd give it a 9.
Wow.
9 out of 10. I would definitely drink this on the regular.
It sounds like it's chive flavored.
Chive?
Chai. Like chai tea.
Oh, chai. Oh you said chive.
Yeah,
like
that's
disgusting.
A baked potato. Oh my gosh.
Just need some bacon. Bacon makes everything better.
I think.
I wonder if they have bacon beer.
I think there is a bacon beer.
You know what's really good? Five Guys, that malted bacon milkshake. It just hits differently. I know you're fucking thinking I'm crazy, and I am, but it is so delicious.
You know, but
I love me some pig.
Sugar Shack has their bacon donut, and I think that thing's fucking delicious. So,
oh yeah, that thing is good.
The caramel bacon donut.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't judge too much. I finally decided one day to give it a try, and I'm like, oh, okay. And you can have candied bacon. Bacon's just good, guys.
I've had bacon covered in chocolate. I've had bacon deep fried in like funnel cake consistency.
Yeah.
Like all the bacon, just give it to me. I love it. I know it's gonna clog my arteries, but I'll die happy.
You would love
pickles
it.
and bacon. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all.
And cheese.
Yeah. See, Wisconsin State Fair. You got to come one day. I'm gonna take your ass.
Yeah, I know. You're gonna have to kidnap me.
I'm going to have to, literally. All right, so Krampus.
Krampus.
Your favorite. I'm
I know.
excited for this.
I had to make up for my last shitty episode, and
It was
trust me,
not
I got my notes
shitty.
today, y'all.
That was not shitty. That was a doozy, not shitty.
It was a doozy.
I still after that episode we were done recording it, I still was like, something's not adding up. In my mind, you know how it is with the Idaho thing. My mind's still
Mhm.
like, something's not adding up. Something does not add up in that situation. There's still the gag order on there, and they're about to demolish the house the end of this month. And so his team is actually about to go in the house for the last time to collect any more evidence before it gets demolished. And side note, also, I've been meaning to bring this up. A barn on the property where the Conjuring house is at started on fire.
Does it have electricity?
I don't know. They didn't. They just said it was under investigation, but the house itself is fine. But one of the barns on the property, the door was on fire.
The door?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's creepy.
Mm-hmm. I have not heard any more updates on that. I'm going to look into it more. And if I find more information, Toasties, check us again on the social medias. I'll probably post something about it. Mm-hmm. I thought
I'd like to hear more about that.
Kind of crazy.
Well, spooky. All right.
So speaking of
Shall
spookies,
we do this?
let's talk about the Krampus.
All right. So, as we all know, in America, we celebrate Christmas or Christmas.
Christmas.
And it's held on January. God bless America. Help me. December 25th. And it's pretty much a very joyful occasion and celebrated amongst your family and friends, and supposed to be the just most wonderful time of the year.
There's a song about it.
Yeah, there's songs, there's movies, there's way too much Christmas shit.
Wonderful time of the year.
Lies. But anyways, regardless of the situation, children across the nation cannot wait for this one day out of the year, because if they're a good little boy or girl, they get presents underneath the tree.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're bad, they usually get a lump of coal or nothing at all. Or, to be honest, they still get shit, even though they're an evil little shit and don't deserve anything. But
iPad.
Yep. But however, in many parts of Europe, particularly in German-speaking parts, they celebrate the feast of Saint Nicholas. And for those of you who don't know who Saint Nicholas is, he is the patron saint of children and gift giving. It is held on December 6th, and pretty much is a similar concept to Christmas. Basically, this all just got contorted as we all just moved over here, and religion, all that kind of bullshit, which I know Missy's definitely going to chime in on that one.
I am. Fun fact. I grew up celebrating Saint Nick and Christmas separate.
Really?
Yes.
I think you told me that before.
Yes. In Wisconsin, which is a primary German area, we celebrate Saint Nick on December 6th, and then Santa on, totally should have made a disclaimer about don't let your kids listen to this episode, guys.
Yeah, don't let your kids listen to us at all.
Please gosh, no.
Yeah,
no. But if you guys are playing this in the car while you're taking them to daycare, like, shut this one off.
We put explicit on there for a reason.
Exactly. Totally wanted to make that disclaimer in the get-go beginning. Got too excited about our Christmas miracle. But anyways, yeah, we celebrated Saint Nick, and then Santa was December 25th. And so we didn't wake up on December 25th with stockings filled. That was like already long gone happened. My whole life never had that. So you did
stockings for Saint Nick.
Yes, stockings was Saint Nick, because the story of Saint Nick is that's what he did. He put a boot or a stocking outside your door, and he put little trinkety things and money and coins in there for the kids.
Yep.
I think that's where the story of the candy cane also comes from, because we always got a candy cane during that time too from religious classes, because it was like supposed to represent, I think, his staff he used as he walked through towns.
Way off the wall. But did you guys ever get those really big ass thick candy canes?
You talking about just the thick stick ones?
Yeah, like the really big thick ones.
I did not, but I've seen them.
Oh, well, me and my, I guess, siblings, we got them when we were younger, and this is gonna be so wrong.
Did you make them into a point?
Yes, we would do our best to lick them as pointy as we could, and then we'd fight each other with them.
Yeah, we did that.
Get in trouble.
Cane. We did just
Oh,
do
no, we
that with
do.
our candy cans. We didn't do that with the little stick ones, but yeah, same concept. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so we had both in Wisconsin. It wasn't until I moved to here that I learned that's not what everybody does. So that was really weird for me.
Yeah, I can't say we ever did anything about Saint Nick. In fact, I think I remember briefly when I was younger, I was like, "Who the fuck is Saint Nick?" Like, I had no clue, and somebody, like, had to relay that was Santa Claus, but I grew up knowing that Santa Claus wasn't real, so
See, I was told
I was
Saint
just
Nick and
like
Santa Claus were two different people my whole life.
see, I was told he was the real version of Santa Claus growing up.
I mean, technically, that is the most accurate way to put it.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, technically. Anyways, so what is it? Feast of St. Nicholas. Very similar concept to Christmas, except for in these regions, they have a demonic entity that would drag your child's soul to hell if they were bad that year. And this night was called Krampus Knot or Krampus Night.
That is the most terrifying thing. I shouldn't be laughing.
I think it's
But I think it's hilarious. Can you
I think it's
imagine
wonderful.
being a kid and told, look, you little shit, you better behave, although Santa's not coming. Krampus is coming for your ass and dragging you back to the depths of hell. Oh my.
That would be totally how I parent. Sorry, bad mom.
And I'd be over there laughing.
Yep, you'd be like, that's right. Oh boy.
Oh gosh. The thing is I don't even believe in hell. But that's funny as shit.
Anyways,
Ugh.
Krampus night is the day before the feast. So it's on the 5th. And it would be, I guess, their Christmas Eve. But that's when Krampus would come to claim the naughty children. So I am actually really surprised at how many people don't know who Krampus is or what he looks like, or they kind of have a brief idea, but don't actually know.
Mhm.
I think the movie that was made in 2015 brought a lot of light to people's, idea of who he was. It
Yeah.
has a lot of false, traditions in there.
Of
but
course, as most movies do.
yeah, but I was actually really surprised. So, who is Krampus? Well, I'll give you a little backstory. Krampus is derived from the Old High German word Krampen, and it means claw or clawed monster. And you could describe Krampus as a half demon, half goat, and he was typically a pretty rowdy and very mischievous creature that served Saint Nicholas. So a lot of people think these two were enemies. No, they worked together. He did all the dirty deeds, where Santa was the good guy. So he was the yin to the yang, the good and the evil.
Mm.
And we'll talk about that a little bit later. But he has horns on his head, mouth full of fangs, obviously covered with fur and hooves. And of course, it's supposed to be that only the naughty children can hear him coming. And his claws are made for just terrorizing all the little naughty kids. Now he is draped in chains, supposedly from being bound to hell, because that is where he is sent from. And that's why if you're a naughty little shit, you get dragged back there and you get to spend a year with him before you get sent back home to mommy and daddy.
Oh gosh.
Yep. He also carries birch branches that he uses to whip the naughty children, and a sack or basket in some cases that he will use to tote your little carcass back to hell, or maybe even drown you and eat you in some of the stories.
Gotta eat somehow. Food
I
chain.
gotta tell, these people over in Europe are brutal.
Yeah.
But
well, I mean, especially Germany.
Either way, it's a very terrible and frightening
It's so
tale
terrible
for any
and
child.
frightening. But let me tell you, I want to hear from people. First off, I would love to know people in Germany today that are listening if this is still like, I've seen videos of it. I mean, we were just recently sharing some of the videos we saw, the Krampus parade and stuff like that. Like, is it like still a big deal over there? Is the story a tale that you guys tell little children? Like, how did you cope with that information?
I didn't research how they coped, but I can tell you it's very much so a big deal. And
I want to know. I want to know what it was like to grow up with that information and then later find out that it was a lie.
or is it? Dun, dun,
Dun, dun,
dun.
dun.
So speaking of which, I'm going to get into the origins of Krampus now. Okay,
Oh,
so
please.
where did he come from? All right. It's a little unclear actually, but it said that Krampus comes from Austria's Alpine region, where, of course, he's been frightening children and amusing adults for hundreds and hundreds of years. Krampus goes way back. He doesn't hang out with Jesus, but he goes way back. Speculating this folklore, what's a good way to put it? We have some facts that bring us to a certain point in time
Mm-hmm.
and other facts that contradict it.
Mm-hmm.
And the only way to put it together is actually through a spirit that existed through paganism. Yes.
Okay.
So as we know, Christianity kind of absorbed paganism and adopted a lot of the traditions or twisted them and turned them. The closest connection we can draw between Krampus pre and post Christian Alpine tradition. So we're still in the Alpine region because that's what I did my research on.
Mm-hmm.
Are the pagan festivals that took place during the winter, such as Yule or the winter solstice. Now, during these festivals, grown men would blow off steam by being a nuisance and scaring and chasing children while dressed up as Krampus. Still kind of what they do to this day, but not as severe.
Mm-hmm.
These traditions are usually called the Krampen Run or Krampen. I'm not gonna try to pronounce it, but
Right.
basically the Krampen Run. So far, there isn't much to suggest that Krampus derived from Christmas or the St. Nicholas feast,
Mm-hmm.
other than to appear in a similar time of the year. So it kind of just married together.
Okay.
Now, in Austria, it wasn't uncommon to dress up as a demon and cause a ruckus during the holidays that honored Christian saints. It was intended as means to torment children or celebrate Krampus, but a pushback against the church. So this really wasn't created as a punishment for children. It was created to say, hey, we're not going to give up what we believe in, and we're still going to do what we want to do because the church cannot govern us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they were forcing on them at this point in time. In a lot of parts of Austria, before the influence of Christianity, December was actually the month of monsters and ghouls. So for pagans, and this makes sense, winter was associated with death. And it was the time of the year when they thought that the veil between the worlds of the living and the dead was the thinnest because of how much death the winter brought. Not even including to just their civilization, but the food and the animals, everything just died in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a time when spirits were more likely to interact with the living. If we go way back, way back before the church in Austria, the closest thing we have to the origin of Krampus is Perchta, and she is the goddess or winter witch. And she is briefly mentioned in the Brothers Grimm, but she is in a mixture, well, kind of in a way, a mixture of Krampus and St. Nicholas.
Mm-hmm.
Her name means the bright one, and she is associated with the Epiphany, which is the night in which the Star of Bethlehem shone down, which a lot of people in Europe still celebrate.
Okay.
Now, she is a dual-natured goddess. She would appear to you as either beautiful and cloaked in white robes, or she would appear as an old, haggard, ugly witch.
I've heard of her.
She was just one single entity, so she wasn't two. It was either or that you saw.
Mm-hmm.
But she basically did the work that both Santa and Krampus would do. It was either reward or punishment. In midwinter, she was said to roam the countryside and visit children and young servants in their homes before or during the 12 days between Christmas and the Epiphany. So they celebrate the 12 days of Christmas. That's where we get that fun little carol. That's where it comes from. She would visit between those days, sometimes before.
I bet she didn't bring like 230 birds to people.
No, she did not. I'm about to tell you. So she supposedly knew whether children had been good all year or if they had been bad. And if they were good, she'd leave a silver coin in your shoe or pail. But if you were bad, she would slit open their tummies, remove their stomach and intestines, and stuff the hole with straw and sew you back up again.
Oh, she turned you into a doll.
Yeah. She was a much more severe Krampus.
I mean,
At least with Krampus, you got to come back home.
If he didn't eat you on the way there.
Oh, true. You could still be eaten or drowned depending on who you talk to. I guess it depended on how bad your bad level was. You know, that little stitch meter.
I've heard of her before. I feel like I've heard her, but called something different though. I could be wrong. But I've heard of her and how she's been known to be seen in two different. I think because of the story I've heard of her was because this is the Alps, you said Austria.
Mm-hmm.
The Celts have her, but
probably something similar.
Named different. She does exactly the same thing, named different.
Okay.
Yeah. And I cannot for the life of me remember her name.
Now, you didn't have to be just bad to get an awful visit from her.
Ooh.
So this fate also awaited you if you ate anything other than traditional meal of fish and gruel on her feast day. Ew. So if you didn't eat what she told you to, you're about to become a scarecrow because she's going to slit your tummy open and stuff you full of straw.
When I hear the word gruel, I think of the movie Pocahontas. Horrible movie. Horrible. But I just think of that guy who like pops up and he's like, I like gruel.
Oh my God, I almost spit my beer out.
Do you know who I'm talking about? Have you seen the movie?
I think I have. Yeah, I think
he's like helping the main villain dude.
But it's like the dorky one, right?
Yeah, and he's real dorky, and they're
and he's scrubbing the what's his name? Oh my God.
I know dog. That's how horrible this movie is. I don't care about the characters because they're all misrepresented.
No, Nico. God, I love Nico.
The raccoon?
Miko. Is it Miko?
Miko.
Is it Miko or no Nico?
It's Miko with an M. Are you talking about the
whatever?
Okay, yeah.
Yes,
you can't count
the
damn animals.
Raccoon.
You can't count the animals. That's the only.
I'm talking about the dog that he was bathing.
Oh, the dog? No, that is
What's his name?
Oh gosh, it was a pug.
Yeah, it was.
I forgot.
And the dorky guy would wash him.
Yeah, but they're all like he's like talking about the corn, and he's like it's better than something tar and gruel, and all of a sudden the dorky one's like, I like gruel.
I like gruel. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I'm sorry. I'm really random today.
It's okay. It makes for a better episode. Hopefully they agree too.
I hope you all have that visual. I like gruel. Carry on.
Anyways, Perkta, or Perkta, I think I'm saying her name wrong, was accompanied by a group of spirits called Perkton. And like her, they had a dual nature.
You said Perkton?
Perkton, yes.
Interesting.
That's what the spirits were called that accompanied her.
Interesting.
And they had a dual nature as well. And they could be either beautiful or ugly. Now, bright and beautiful Perkton brought forth good wealth and fortune. While the ugly Perkton, they had fangs, tusks, and horsetails, and were used to drive away malevolent spirits and demons. So again, very similar to Krampus.
Mm-hmm.
About in the 16th century, men would dress up in masks and animal furs as these ugly Perkton, and they would go from house to house and drive out bad spirits to banish winter. Again, sounds very similar to the Krampus run.
Mm-hmm.
But these events were, of course, they were loud, they were boisterous. Large groups of men were parading through the streets and dressed up as these hideous monsters were known as Perktenlauf, meaning Perkton Run. So it was even called the same thing. You have Krampuslauf, which is Krampen Run, and the Perkton Run. And needless to say, it really fucking pissed off the church. They saw them as immoral behavior signs, and they banned them. They said, no, you can't do this. So again, the church is trying to govern people.
Go figure.
Mm-hmm. And of course, many of the villages refused to comply. And this is where we get St. Nicholas. So as a means to compromise, some of these villagers, they brought forth a man dressed up as St. Nicholas and sent him along with the other men dressed up as the monsters as a way to balance the good and the evil. It was the yin to the yang. And eventually the church decided to ban the Perchtenlauf altogether. And that really pissed them off because at this point they've already tried to compromise and they're still taking away their traditions. So they created something similar to the creature, and that was the horned and mischievous Krampus who served St. Nicholas. Now, this time around, the church saw Krampus as, of course, an ungodly figure, but they allowed it because it still represented the good and the evil. And that is how Krampus became also to be associated with the devil and from hell. That's why he has the chains on him, because he is chained to hell.
Mm-hmm.
So it was integrating the pagan beliefs and the religion to make a common practice of the church because it made it easier to convert people.
Yeah.
So you see where I'm going with this.
I do.
Krampus is a twisted form of an old pagan belief and spirit and tradition, if you will. As we know, modern Krampus celebrations tend to be toned down and they don't really punish the children, unfortunately. Just kidding, kind of.
Yeah.
But instead of whippings or being dragged to hell, children are given bundles of birch sticks or sometimes lumps of coal if they're misbehaving. They don't get whipped or drowned or beaten. Nobody wants any of that.
Of course not.
The men still dress up as the Krampus monster on the night of the December 5th, and they roam the streets, again, with chains and birch sticks, frightening children and adults. But usually it's all in fun spirit. Nobody's harmed. It's just a celebration of their traditions. Now, this is where I thought it was odd because now the Krampus run didn't actually make its way to the States till after 2004, because then that's where we started seeing a lot of the Krampus traditions brought over because of an American artist who was drawing up cards, like Christmas cards and that kind of stuff. So it kind of brought it to the States.
Okay.
And then that's where you get, as most of you are familiar with, the 2015 film Krampus.
Yes.
And in my opinion, personally, everybody can disagree with me because I know that movie got a lot of hate. I love that movie. Hate me all you want. Every, Christmas Eve, we watch it. When we put up the tree, we watch it. I probably watch it 15 times during the Christmas season. But anyways, in my opinion, I think it's the best version of the folklore. And simply just because Krampus doesn't necessarily come for whoever's been naughty. Rather, he comes for those who have given up on the Christmas spirit, or people who are selfish, greedy, and just want the material items and they're just bitter. That's why he's coming to take you away, because you have lost the spirit of Christmas, where usually it's just if you're naughty.
Well, technically, it's naughty to lose the spirit of Christmas.
Technically. But they could be good all year and still lose the spirit, and the Krampus wouldn't give a fuck. But in this version, I'd rather people keep that spirit going all year round.
Well, that's like Thanksgiving. Don't pick that one day to be thankful. Be fucking thankful year round. Be kind every day. You don't need to have one day designated to be a good person.
No, you don't.
So.
No. Either way, Krampus as a creature overall, he's really cool. He's really fucking cool, at least to me.
You love him. I know you do.
I do. He may look evil and terrifying, but we also have to remember how he originated from. And it was from the ugly Perkton, who were only ugly because they were meant to frighten away bad spirits. And it was only to protect themselves. It was their tradition. It was their belief. And he was simply just created by the pagans as a way to keep their traditions and keep it alive because they were under the tyranny of the church.
Sounds about right.
So that's why I love Krampus. He is a rebel.
I was about to say it's a rebel without a cause, but there actually is a cause.
It's a very good cause. To me, a Christian might not agree with me, but we all have our opinions and beliefs. I respect yours. Please respect mine. If you don't like it, you don't have to fucking listen.
Agreed.
But that is Krampus.
I'm excited that you shared Krampus. I know that you love Krampus. I'm not going to lie to you, though. I have yet to see that movie.
Go fuck yourself.
I can say that to you because you're away from me.
One night I'll tie you up and make you watch it.
I believe it. I believe that. Guys, send help. She will do that. I'll be like in dead sleep, and I will wake up to her hovering over my body, dressed as Krampus. I'm strapped down with chains as it's playing on my TV. That's now going to be my Christmas punishment.
I'll feed you some meat as you watch it.
Okay, we're good. Sold. Is there bacon involved as well?
Only if you want it.
Yeah, of course I do. Well, real fun. Because you were saying on how like Krampus was kind of the FU to the Christianity of Christmas and stuff like or Christianity thing or whatever. And real fun that I was looking into on the whole Christmas situation. I actually have been really into more celebrating the solstice. I love, and I'll repeat that again. I love winter solstice for multiple reasons. My main reason I love winter solstice, as if you guys don't know this already, I love heat. Winter solstice is the day our sun comes back to us. A lot of people like to look at it as it's the shortest day of the year. No, every day is the same amount of time. It is the day that we have the least amount of sun. Yes, but every day after winter solstice, the sun is out just a little bit longer. I love that day because I know that is the day that our sun returns to us. So I love winter solstice. I every year incorporate a little bit more into the day to celebrate it. I do it with my kids, and it's wonderful. I get excited for that day every year, and I'm looking forward to it this year as well. But where did Christmas come from? Because as everybody in the religion world knows that that's the day that Jesus was born. Now I'm about to blow all your guys' minds right now because I have yet to ever get this question answered. Christmas is supposedly the day Jesus was born. It's December 25th is what we're all told. Easter is supposed to be the day that Jesus was resurrected. Why is that day different? Why is it a different day every year? And what's really funny is a lot of people give me an astrology answer.
But they don't believe in astrology.
Figure that one out. If someone can give me an explanation without involving astrology, I would love to hear it. But
and also, Jesus wasn't born in December. He was born in September.
Actually, it never says in the Bible a day that he was born, period.
No, it does not. But they have researched and brought it down to about September, late August.
August, September. Dude's a Virgo. Makes sense. Look at his life. Come on now. Perfection. Hello.
Okay, Virgo.
I'm sorry. That was walked into.
That was
walked into, because you are correct. It was about August. The theory is that December was picked because that is the time that the three wise men finally showed up.
Yes,
they were not there the day he was born. He was supposedly born sometime August, September. We all can now agree he is a Virgo, though, because it makes fucking sense. Dude was also into witchcraft. Come on, who turns water into wine? But that was supposedly the day the three wise men finally arrived. And that's why that day supposedly was picked, correct? That's what everybody says? Supposedly. So the origins of Christmas actually go way further back than that. And actually has nothing to do with Jesus whatsoever. The date that was picked for Christmas was 300 years after he was born. It was in the 4th century that Christmas was ever recognized, that was ever celebrated, that it was ever even a thing. And it was actually created by a Roman emperor named Constantine the First. He was the Roman emperor, and he had chosen the date December 25th in the year of 336, which, like I said, is 336 years after Jesus was born. Which would make sense because there's the Roman Empire, and the Romans actually the ones that killed him. So, you got to get all those people out of the way before you finally celebrate Jesus's birth, because heaven forbid you did something against the grain. Woe is me. So it totally makes sense. But Emperor Constantine actually decided to finally convert to Christianity, which again is really fucking funny and ironic because, like I said, they killed him.
Mm-hmm.
But that was actually during a time of a celebration called oh gosh, where'd it go? I accidentally hit the back button. Bear with me.
Uh-oh.
I want to make sure I try to pronounce this correctly, right? Because it had to do with Saturn. Oh gosh, where'd it go?
Oh, speaking of pronouncing correctly, you should have seen me trying to pronounce those names.
Oh, I bet it was
And
hilarious.
the Krampus.
So there was actually I found it, guys. It was actually a popular Roman festival called Saturnalia.
Okay.
And that was a winter feast that was a week long that they did, where they did gifts and exchanging the gifts, and they had the feast and they all gathered and all that other kind of stuff. And it actually was the birthday of an Indo-European deity, Mithra. I hope I pronounced that right. Who is the god of light and loyalty.
Yep.
Whose cult was at the time growing rapidly amongst the Roman soldiers. So that is why that date was picked. It's not Jesus's birthday, it was Mithra's. It wasn't even the day the three wise men showed up. It's Mithra's birthday. The god of light, which makes sense because, again, we go back to the pagan of Yule or winter solstice is the day that the sun returns to us. Every day after that day, the sun is out a little bit longer. So the church in Rome began formally celebrating Christmas on December 23rd or 25th in 336. And it was, like I said, during the reign of Constantine. And it was his way of kind of like, because they decided to be Christians at that point. And it was a way to kind of bring, right. But it was a political motive to weaken the established pagans.
Yeah, bend the knee or get killed.
Yeah, so they kind of did like something a little bit, again, from other religions, brought it into their own, like, hey, we have them too. Look at us. We're cool. I really think that was their way of being like, sorry, Jesus, we killed you. We were wrong. We'll steal something from somebody else and celebrate you instead. Because why not? Now, like Jonesy said, like, this is not a jab at people's religion. That's you do you, man. I ain't gonna judge you for however you want to do. That's on you. At the end of the day, it's up, you're the one who's gotta be comfortable in your skin and your body and your spirit. That's your spiritual journey, and however you feel you gotta believe to get through this fucking crazy world of life, have it. I'm not gonna judge nobody for it, because the best way to do it is to have something.
Yes.
Don't cram it down nobody's fucking throats. Don't tell anybody they're wrong for whatever religious path they decide to walk on. Because if you there's a guy, I wish I would have looked this up ahead of time, but there's actually a guy who did a whole book. He looked at every single religion and he put it all together in a book to let you all know it's the same person. You just call him something different. It's the same person. It's the same fucking journey. There's always a different path to get to the end of the road.
Each culture absorbed it differently.
However you want to take it. But don't you dare judge nobody for how they want to go. Krampus is kick-ass. I'm so glad I was not told about him. I'm surprised.
I really am too.
I'm not gonna lie, and I wish these are moments where I wish my great grandma was around. I'm gonna ask my mom. I'm gonna ask her.
I said, it originated in Austria.
Right. I have a huge German background. I mean, my great grandma, 100% German woman. I'm gonna ask my mom because it was her grandma.
Do it.
I'm gonna ask her if her grandma ever brought up Krampus, or if her grandpa, he would be the guy to do it, because he thinks I lied. I'll take that back. I met him when I was like a few months old. So I don't know him, but I heard he was always a jokester. He was really that pokey, funny Mr. Magoo kind of guy. And for some odd reason, I could get the sense that he would be the guy to be like, you better behave as Krampus is coming. Because they were also very, 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 very religious people. Very Catholic, as most the Germans were in Wisconsin. And would be very specific in their German Catholics. So
maybe that's why you didn't hear of him.
That could be.
Now, I don't know at what time or what the timeline was that it moved from Austria to Germany. So, I mean, you would think they go hand in hand, but
You would think. But the Catholics also believe that there is a fiery pit of burning hell where the devil exists. I personally don't believe that
Mm-hmm.
because that contradicts to say who God is.
Yes, you're very correct.
Mm-hmm. But
Yep.
I'm curious to know if that was something they knew. I'm gonna have to figure that out and get back to you guys. But I like that story. I liked that.
Thank you.
I liked it a lot.
I
Krampus.
love me some Krampus.
I know you do. I know you love you some Krampus. He's very Scrooge in the sense I get very Scrooge vibes with the chains. You keep bringing
Yeah.
up you kept bringing up the chains, and that's the first thing that kind of came to my mind. I'm like, Scrooge.
Mm-hmm.
One of his Christmas is his no, not his Christmas past. It was his partner when he shows up to tell him like,
Yes.
hey, you better change your ways, because he was covered in chains, and he
What's that?
said,
That's his present.
kind of, yeah, like, it was something of that nature,
I
but
don't
it was
know.
like
Somebody tell us.
it was his partner who died, who
Yeah, but I
came to
think that
warn
each
him.
but
No,
each spirit had a like present, past, and
yes,
future.
there was a past, present, and future, but the first spirit he met was his partner to warn him that he was going to be seeing the past, present, and future ghosts of Christmas. And he showed
Oh,
up
you
covered
right. You
in
right.
chains. And he's like, why you got these chains on you? And he said, this is the punishment I have of my greed. It's weighing me down, basically, to essentially to hell because of how bad he was.
Lost that Christmas spirit.
Yeah, he did. So it's kind of funny to hear Christmas stories that you can kind of, once you start to learn history of certain things, you could be like, that's where that came from. And I'm wondering now if Scrooge would be
Relatable to Krampus.
relatable to kind of a Krampus, but not necessarily to the, children being dragged to hell, but more so yourself and that reflection within yourself type story. I'm getting real deep here now.
You are. I don't think it does. I think overall, I just think our ancestors all believed in one thing and it got construed and fear kind of dominated and it got broken
Mm-hmm.
and things were picked apart.
Yes.
And the one that's feared the most, where you're damned to hell, of course, is the one that's going to thrive, because who wants to be damned to hell? Not in the,
that's
the
so
picture they
terrifying.
paint.
That's so
Yeah.
terrifying. Absolutely. Which, yeah, we won't get down that topic, but
Yeah, we'll stay off of that topic.
I know somebody was also trying to compare the Grinch to Scrooge, and they're not the same person. Not at all. You can't compare the two. But here's a sad story for you. Grinch talked about how he got all their trash. He had a dog.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that, guys. How'd he get Max? Got it in your trash. Horrible. I can't let that one out of my brain sometimes. Because the Jim Carrey Grinch talks about how he gets everybody's garbage from Christmas. And then someone's like, wait a second, how'd he get that dog? He never came down. Don't buy puppies for Christmas unless you're going to have that lifelong commitment of that dog.
Exactly.
That was where I was going with that.
No. And at the end of the day, just everybody just try to be a better person than the day you were before. Baby steps.
Be nice. Don't take out a second mortgage for Christmas because it's not worth it. Nothing is worth it. Teach gratitude. Show gratitude. Give gratitude. Imagine what gratitude gives you. So much. It's easier said than done. It's really hard to look around and see the things that you could be grateful for.
Enjoy the time with your family.
Christmas is about time.
It's not about the presents. It's not about the food. It's the time spent together. It's the memories you're going to cherish, because believe me, you're not going to have those people forever. And you're going to want to hang on to every ounce of that memory, because each year it fades a little bit more.
Yes.
So be grateful.
Yes. 1,000 times be grateful.
Mm-hmm.
Because you are correct. I mean, every year I make, because my other side of my family is Norwegian, and I make lefse. And my grandma used to make it when we were young. I don't physically remember helping her, but I've seen the videos that I was helping her make it when I was really, really little. I think I was like 4, 5 years old. And then we were able to find it in the stores. Now, lefse is a tortilla that's made out of potatoes instead of flour. It's super fucking delicious. But we used to buy it in the stores. All of a sudden, we couldn't find it in the stores. I went a while without having it. Finally, I got my grandma's recipe, and with my kids for Christmas, we make it every year. This
should.
past October, my grandma passed away.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know the time you got. And let me tell you, I have not yet made that lefse. I will make that lefse this year, but it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
So enjoy the time you have. And if food is what brings you all together, man, eat it.
Yeah, eat the fuck up.
But enjoy the time, because you're
Mhm.
correct. You don't know when it's going to be the last.
No. And
So.
unfortunately, it does fade.
It does. But make your
So-
traditions, make your
Mhm.
memories, because trust me, those are going to last longer than any fucking toy you're ever going to get.
Yeah, and it will help keep the memory alive, and it won't fade as quickly.
Yep, because I'll tell you, I'm excited to make this lefse. It's going to be a hard one this year. But lefse
Mhm.
is always what I think of when it comes to Christmas. I don't think about the toys I got. I still don't think about the presents I get. Now that I get many. I'm an adult now. Santa don't come for adults, guys.
Can Krampus come for adults?
Sometimes I wish he would take
Please?
me out. But thank you.
Yeah.
That was
Well, I
good.
guess we want to thank everybody for the wonderful 8 months that we have had. But we also want everybody, including ourselves, to take the times that we have around the holidays and spend them with their family.
Yes. Please, guys. Enjoy this. Enjoy them. Make a new tradition. And
Mm-hmm.
whatever the hell you want to make it. Celebrate the solstice, which actually the best way to celebrate the solstice is to actually embrace, gosh damn it, embrace I'm a hand talker, guys, and having a mic next to me like this proximity is the worst. But embrace the darkness and to think of what you want to bring into the next year. That is actually when you make your New Year's resolutions, not in the new year. Make a fucking cookie, whatever you want. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your time.
Enjoy all your loved ones.
And what we're saying is we're not leaving you all, guys. You can't get
No.
rid of us that easily. We will be back. But we're going to give you a little breaky break. We want everybody to enjoy a family. We want everybody to enjoy themselves. And we will see you in the new year.
Yes, we will.
We won't be putting out some new episodes. Use that spare time, though, to catch yourselves up, guys. Reach out to us and give us some stories you want to hear into the next year, because we're excited for January and then the next year, because we're creeping up on our 1 year, guys.
Yes, we are.
We gotta figure out a way to plan and celebrate. So we got plenty of time for that, though, but not at the same time, because 8 months already. Like, holy shit. 8 months? We've been 8 months already. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Toasties, that have been here
for
the fucking 8 months so far. From you guys rock. This has been awesome. We got our Christmas miracle of the mead, which I never thought was going to be a thing. I just was drinking it. And hey, it was a new thing, because your girl here was drinking the barefoots every day, and they didn't blink at
I know.
me.
At the beginning, guys, you remember we couldn't get her to put the barefoot down, but look at us now. You know, look what we did.
I mean, mead is still kind of it's honey wine, but they're
Don't
all different
ruin it
flavors.
for us. Don't ruin it for us.
They're all different flavors. So it's still different technically. Oh, and I didn't bring on my other drink actually, because this Christmas miracle got in the way. My other favorite thing I love to drink around this time of year, because in November I make that caramel apple sangria, right? And I always have leftover caramel vodka, because you only use like a cup of it in the sangria. So I always had that leftover caramel vodka, and I actually mix that with Pepsi, and that's my winter drink. I love that shit. Also, I love Pepsi over Coke. Come fight me. I don't care.
All right, guys.
But until the new year, guys, enjoy your Christmas. Enjoy your holiday. Enjoy whatever it is the fuck you celebrate during this time of year. If you celebrate nothing, that's cool too. Like I said, use that time to catch up on all our shit. Reach out to us on all the social medias of Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and emails, and go to our website. Drop us anywhere you want a message of what you want to see in the next year.
And I also want to let everybody know, I know this time of year can be particularly hard. And if you are truly suffering and you need help, you reach out to us and we
Oh,
will
fuck yeah.
find you that help.
Fuck yeah. Reach out.
You've
We're
been
still
here for us and we will be here for you.
we're still active. We're still going to try to be as active on the social medias and whatever. Please reach out to us. I'd rather you reach out than hear you in a story somewhere else.
Exactly.
I don't even know you, but I love you.
Exactly.
We love everybody.
We love you. We love you long time.
Long time.
8
But
months.
till next year, guys. I
Yeah,
wouldn't even say
till
next time.
next
Until
year.
next year, you better be here. Hold on. I'm gonna say the specific date. Give me 2.2.
You better put it in your calendar, y'all, because she's a Virgo. Virgo she'll come after your ass if you don't show up.
I will.
It's gonna be nasty.
January 7th, we will be back. So that gives you guys the 31st and the 24th, which is Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, to enjoy because those are very big holidays. For however people like to celebrate. We will be dropping new episodes. We want you guys to really take that time to enjoy your family, enjoy yourselves, enjoy whatever it is you need to enjoy. And if you need someone to enjoy it with and you got nobody, you got us bitches.
Yep. We're always down for some shenanigans.
But the shenanigans will return January 7th. So you better come back. Might be a TikTok live.
Who knows?
But until next year, guys, have a great night. Have a great holiday. We love ya.
Yes, we do.
Bye.